भुनक्तु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्ध ज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशांताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ओम करुणावरुणालय पालय मां भवसागरदुःखविदूनहृदं रचयाखिलदर्शनतत्त्वविदं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्। ओम समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो नमः ऋषिभ्यो नमः मुनिभ्यो नमः गुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री परब्रह्मणे नमः। गौडपादाचार्यवर्याय नमः। मंडूकमहर्षे नमः। अथर्वऋषे नमः। आद्य शंकर सद्गुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम अथ अथर्ववेदान्तर्गत माण्डूक्योपनिषद। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षवीर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शान्तिः। ओम ओमित्येतदक्षरमिदं सर्वं तस्योपव्याख्यानं भूतं भवद्भविष्यतीति सर्वमोङ्कार एव। यच्चान्यत्रिकालातीतं तदप्योङ्कार एव। सर्वं हि एतद् ब्रह्म अयमात्मा ब्रह्म सोऽयमात्मा चतुष्पाद जागरितस्थानः बहिष्प्रज्ञः सप्ताङ्गः एकोनविंशतिमुखः स्थूलभुक् वैश्वानरः प्रथमपादः स्वप्नस्थानः अन्तःप्रज्ञः सप्ताङ्गः एकोनविंशतिमुखः प्रविविक्तभुक् तैजसः द्वितीयः पादः। यत्र सुप्तो न कंचन कामं कामयते न कंचन स्वप्नं पश्यते तत्सुषुप्तं सुषुप्तस्थानः एकीभूतः प्रज्ञानघन एव आनन्दमयो हि आनन्दभुक् चेतोमुखः प्राज्ञः तृतीयः पादः। एष सर्वेश्वरः एष सर्वज्ञः एषोऽन्तर्यामी एष योनिः सर्वस्य प्रभवाप्ययौ हि भूतानां नान्तप्रज्ञं न भविष्प्रज्ञं नोभयत प्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञानघनं न प्रज्ञं नाप्रज्ञम् अदृष्टम् अव्यवहार्यम् अग्राह्यम् अलक्षणम् अचिन्त्यम् अव्यपदेश्यम् एकात्मप्रत्ययसारं प्रपञ्चोपशमं शान्तं शिवम् अद्वैतं चतुर्थं मन्यन्ते स आत्मा स विज्ञेयः। सोऽयमात्मा अधि अक्षरम् ओङ्कारः अधिमात्रं पादामात्राः मात्राश्च पादाः अकार उकारो मकार इति जागरितस्थानः वैश्वानरः अकारः प्रथमा मात्रा आप्तेः आदिवत्वाद्वा आप्नोति ह वै सर्वान् कामान् आदिश्च भवति य एवं वेदः वेद। स्वप्नस्थानः तैजसः उकारः द्वितीया मात्रा उत्कर्षादुभयत्वाद्वा उत्कर्षति ह वै ज्ञानसन्ततिं समानश्च भवति न अस्य ब्रह्मवित् कुले भवति य एवं वेद। सुषुप्तस्थानः मकारः प्राज्ञः मकारः तृतीया मात्रा मितेः अभितेः वा मिनोति ह वा इदगं सर्वम् अपीतिश्च भवति य एवं वेद। अमात्रः चतुर्थः अव्यवहार्यः प्रपञ्चोपशमः शिवः अद्वैतः एवम् ओङ्कारः आत्मा एव संविशति आत्मना आत्मानं य एवं वेद य एवं वेद। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ अथ अलातशान्त्याख्यं चतुर्थं प्रकरणम्। ॐ आदिशान्ता ह्यनुत्पन्नाः प्रकृत्यैव सुनिर्वृताः सर्वे धर्माः समाभिन्नाः अजं साम्यं विशारदम् वैशारद्यं तु वै नास्ति भेदे विचरतां सदा भेदनिम्नाः पृथग्वादाः तस्मात् ते कृपणाः स्मृताः। Hari Om, saluting to the entire Rishi Muni Guru Upanishad Parampara, especially the Manduka Rishi, Gaudapada Rishi, Adya Shankara Rishi, and our Gurudev. Saluting the Lord in all forms, our own Ishtadevata, saluting our own Shruti Mata. Let us continue our study of the Upanishad. So, in this 94th mantra, towards the conclusion of this Mandukya Karikas, Sri Gaudabadaji, in unequivocal terms, in an unambiguous manner, he is putting in front of us this fact. What is the fact? Vaisharadyantu vainasti bhede vicharatam sada. Those whose thoughts or the minds or emotions or intellects are working in the duality. Those whose senses are working in the duality. Those are working in the world outside, taking the duality as real. They never have the Vaisharada, the Vishuddhata, the purity in them. Because the moment you have seen the duality, that itself is the impurity. So, Bhede Visaratam Vaisharadyam Nasti. Now, Sada Bhede Visaratam Sada Vaisharadyam Nasti. The absence of Vishuddhi means all the Shuddha gunas which give us happiness, all the Shuddha gunas which make us qualified for knowing our own essential self or the truth, that will not be there in them. Those who are in the Bhedavada, the peace, the purity, the calmness, the quietness, the single pointedness, the subtlety, the introvertedness, all these are the qualities that are required to discover the inner self. So, too, in the world, we have to have this love, that compassion, that ability to unconditionally forgiving others. Such divine, beautiful qualities are Vishuddhi of ourselves. The inner Vishuddhi is that path toward the truth which is unobstructed by any of the hurdles or the impediments or the speed breakers. The Vishuddhi toward the world is the unhindered expression of our pure love for everything and being. That Vishuddhi cannot be there if one's drushti is Bheda. Because in the Bheda drushti, these good positive qualities cannot be there. Only in the perception, in the acceptance, in the vision, in the experience of the oneness, that these all Shuddha Sat Gunas express. So at one level, we are told to have Sadgunas, then through that discover the one without second self. At later level, what is said is discover the self and test it in the expression of your own Vishuddhi, in your own Visharadattvam, your own purity. Like practice these Lakshanas are the Gunas, you become Bhakta or Jnani. Then test whether you have become Bhakta or Jnani by seeing whether these gunas are expressing in you or not. Like the Sthita Pragnata of Gita chapter 2. Are you established in that or not? How to know? Do you have the Vishuddhi? What is the expression of Vishuddhi? All those Sthita Pragna Lakshanas of Prajahati Yada Kaman Ityad. So to do these practices, Mayi Eva Manadatsva Mayi Buddhim Nimeshaya. and discover the devotion surrender experience in you. How do you know that you have become devotee or not? Test yourself whether you have the Vishuddhi or not. What is the Vishuddhi expected? Dekho, these are the beautiful natural expressions of Adveshta Sarvabhutana Maitra Karunayavacha Nirmamaha Nirahankaraha. All this. In the same way, the beauty of realizing one without second self is the Vishuddhi. The expression of Vishuddhi is non-perception or non-acceptance, even though it is perceived, but non-acceptance of the Bheda. When the Bheda acceptance is not there, how can there be Vicharanam, movement in the Bheda for Ajnani? Reversely, when we are as long as giving importance to any type of a Bheda, immediately some or the other Ashuddhi in the heart comes. When the Ashuddhi comes in us, it will cover the pure self, and nature of self is peace and bliss that will never come to us. Even there is a Bheda between me and God that also leads to the Avaisharadyam or Ashuddhi of either expecting something from Him or the sense of separateness from Him or even the fear from Him, whether He will give me what I want or not, or will He punish me for whatever the papa I have done. Of course, unless these are eliminated, we cannot discover the Aveda Sthiti that stands as it is every time. But at the same time, you can't have Bheda Drushti even with Bhagavan. With Bhagavan Bheda Drushti, there will be Bhayam. With all the people around us, there is a Bheda Drushti, there will be Samshayam. With the world, when we have the Bheda Drushti, there is the Kamana or expectation. These are the Bhayam, Samshayam, Kamana or the Ashuddhi in us, because wherever there is Bhayam is there is a Kamana is there, wherever there is Samshaya is there, what's working is mind. Wherever the mind works, the self is not experienced. Then where there self is not experienced, self being bliss, he is not experiencing the bliss. Then other than bliss or happiness is dukkha. Happiness is liberation, dukkha is bondage, therefore we are bound. Therefore, at every level, we have to see to it that am I pursuing that one common denominator? And the common denominator cannot be anything other than the same pure one without second self, which is Sat and Chit. Though it is subtle, but slowly develop that it is there, the faith in it, and slowly become stronger in that faith. Then understand that Satchit, the conceptually, as well as in the meditation seat, we can become nearer and nearer to the concept itself as our experience. Means the concept that Satchit will be experienced by us, that I am Sat and Chit. Then same Sat and Chit is everywhere there. So where is the Veda? No. Therefore there is no Ashuddhi of any sort. Then there is nothing covering the continuous flow of the bliss of the self. So Vaisharadyantu Vainasti Vede Vicharatava Sada. Now it is in Vyavahara also, wherever for any reason you get that thought inside you that somebody is in some way or the other different from me or other than me, the sense of separation, the sense of otherness, sense of non ownership, sense of wrong relativity, anything is wrong. When it is entertained, immediately the vikara of mind in the form of dvesha, krodha will come if the medium of the separation is the what is it? Dvesha. If the medium of separation is raga, then the desire, the expectation, all those vikaras, ashuddhis come in the mind. Then how to go about in the world? Say, see that they are your own self. Just like me, they are there. Therefore, as I love myself unconditionally, love them. As I don't expect myself from anything by me, so to do that. As I just forgive myself, just forgive them. Atma upamena sarvatra samam pashyati means this. Then only any sort of Veda that is there removed. Then only there is a Vishuddhi. In that Vishuddhi, neither raga nor dvesha. Therefore, you are not disturbed. First thing we have to achieve is to get rid of my own inner disturbances, my own inner pains, my own inner suffocations. All are created by my own inner bosom because of entertaining in me only the Veda Drishti. Therefore, reject anybody's thought in your mind. If at all you entertain the mind, thought of anybody in the mind, reject the sense of otherness. Little of sense of otherness is there, immediately the Ashuddhi Vikara of the Raga Dvesha come. Then that will never allow you to be at peace with yourself, first of all. Forget about becoming qualified to go deeper to know our own essential self. वो तो दूर की बात है, मन ही इतना चंचल फ्लटर होकर दुखी होता ही रहता है. And to have that way, the unbiased, pure relation with anyone, which will not disturb us, we have to redefine ourselves first of all. And in that, we go to some pure, naked truths. We have to be very ready and courageous and have dareness to accept. As long as we are kami or bhogi, we can never have that non pain giving relativity with anything or being. Only when myself is nishkama, nirbhoga lakshana, then only I have such type of undifferentiated relativity with everyone. Then only the ashuddhi will not be there. Then only the peace, happiness is unobstructed. For that, again, what is to done? Therefore, either be the self or be the seeker of the self inside. Any other identity of myself, is it not, as a jiva or as a deha, immediately brings into manifestation the sukha buddhi, bhoga buddhi. Immediately, for that sukha and bhoga, we look out toward the world. What is that source which can give me sukha or bhoga? Immediately, we differentiate the world in two forms: the giver of sukha bhoga, non giver. Giver, towards them we have raga, don't give, toward them the dvesha. Then the raga dvesha came, your peace is gone into pieces. Is it not? Like I have some raga towards you. It is immediately disturbed because my thought is thinking about you, my mind. The raga won't stop without expecting something, at least your presence. Is it not? And Dvesha expects something to be changed in you so that I can make a raga with you. But that will not happen. That's how. And how I expect something from you. Therefore, raga. Not fulfilled, therefore, Dvesha. When I redefine myself, that I am the seeker of the self which is infinitely blissful. Within it is me. Is it not the defining pakka as a seeker of happiness only by the seeker of being the seeker of this self? This is the purpose of again and again studying Shastras, listening to the Guru. Only then this thought becomes stronger. Then only we'll be able to withdraw from our own mind's raga dvesha. Then only we can withdraw from our own wrong relation with the world. Then only, whether we are in the world or within ourselves, the ashuddhi will not be there in the heart. Then our own inner happiness will be unobstructedly experienced. So, Vaisharadhyantu Vainasti Bhede. Then Bhede Visaratham, and those whose whole life is conducted on Bheda only, how can they have the Visharada? Here the Vishuddhi means Sattva Guna. Is it not? Their minds always been the Rajoguna of the Kama Krodha, Tamoguna of the frustration, misery, because the Kama Krodha are not fulfilled. But in the Visharadattva, the Shuddha Sattva Guna, you are able to understand everything. I being the self, all knowledge for my sadhana and vyavhara is fully already in me. What is that is not allowing that to express is rajas and tamas. When they are eliminated by eliminating all the impurities of rajas and tamas, we are in the Shuddha Sattva Guna. Then we become source of all knowledge, all information, all values, all the common senses, all even spiritual visions. They're not that somebody gives to me, they are within me, and whoever is giving me, they are getting that from their own self. If their self can give them that, same self is in me also, then my self also should give me all. But that all knowledge, wisdom, useful for me, useful others, which is lurking in my own self, can get expressed only when there is sattva guna. That is Vishuddhi. But that Vishuddhi will come when there is no Bheda Drushti, when there is Abheda Drushti. When there is Bheda Drushti, immediately the Vishuddhi of Sattva goes away, Ashuddhi of Raga Dvesha goes away. Then the track of thinking is pulled towards the Raga Dvesha. Therefore, intellect is not available for the inner Lord or the self to express the facts, to express the truths regarding the self, which is experience, regarding the world, which is called knowledge. Like this person is in this problem, he came to me. He asked me, so my self in me through my intellect should give him such a perfect answer. That capacity is there in me, but I can't answer because I am not in Shuddha Sattva Guna. I am in some Rajasa or Rajas. May not be with that person, but in general because of something. Therefore, my answer is neither correct or true, therefore, nor it helps that person in this way. So, in the Veda Drushti, there is Rajas and Tamas. Wherever there is Rajas and Tamas, there is Veda Drushti. Rajas is Kama Krodadi and Tamas is frustration, depression adi. Wherever the Prema is there, Kshama Guna is there, there the Antakarana becomes Shuddha. In the Shuddha Antakarana, there is no Bheda Drushti. When there is no Bheda Drushti, there is no obstruction for the self to express as Ananda. What is the meaning of self expressing as Ananda? I am in Ananda. My Ananda is not conditional. It never comes because of arrival of something. It never goes away because of departure of something. See how important is this subject both for our spiritual unfoldment as well as our psychological peace as well as our proper healthy dealing in the world. वैशारद्यन्तु वैनास्ति भेदे विचरतां सदा. And if you're not alert about it and create the sattva guna of forgiving, loving everyone and remove the ashuddhi of rajas and tamas in very short period of time, means for us to hi gaya कि we become bheda nimnaha. We are dissolved or immersed or submerged in the bheda. That even the thought that let me come to the sattva guna, even the thought that let me develop the abheda drushti, that means what in Bhakti Bhavana? The thought that I must see the commonly existing Lord in everyone, that itself will not come. That's called Vedanimna. The one who is immersed in the water, he will not see the space outside. The one who is immersed in the TV and the enjoyment, he will not see what is his duty, what others are expecting out of him. So, to the one who is immersed in the Veda Drushti, Veda Nimna, how will they have even a thought of seeing the Lord in all? One common. So, is it not? This is applicable to the so called evolving spiritual seekers also. If they identify with them, with some religion, and they say the other religions are not my religion, then you will never be able to pursue your own knowledge of your own religion, which says the self or the Lord is same in all. See that poisonous effect of that Bheda Drushti. When we are submerged in that religion is different, my religion is different, that caste is different, my caste, that nationality is my. No, all these are even not allowing us to understand the commonality in all. Forget about the Lord. Even that in everyone, the same human being is there. The wants, the expectations, or the needs of every human being are same. Let me fulfill them. Even that common sense point which makes us human, that also will not arise. If that Veda Drushti is there, then what to talk about? The Drushti of seeing the Lord. If the Lord is not seen all, what are we doing of spirituality? After exhaustively explaining The total absence of Srishti, there were total absence of Dvaita, therefore presence of only Ekamavadvayam Brahma Nehana Nasti Kinchana. In these slokas, if that Advaita Drishti is not developed by you, if not at the truth level, which is ultimate, even at the Vyavahara level, your Veda Drishti will make you such a dissolved person, immersed person in the Prithakvadatva that you will never have Vishuddhi. You will never be able to be at peace with yourself. Like when I see a person of a other religion, where is the pain happening to me having seen him in my own heart? So where is the happy purity when my mind is disturbed? The moment I am disturbed, I have failed in that game, no? Because undisturbed, peaceful, happy being is called success. But the moment you saw somebody, you are disturbed. Why? Veda Drushti. अविशुद्धि अशुद्धि आ गया कि नहीं? Why is it so? Bheda nimna prathakvada. Their action and words are expressing the Veda. That is because it has its support in Veda nimna. They are submerged in visualizing with their mind and intellect only the Vedas on one or the other account. And if somebody is wanting to see the difference, there are millions of the reasons are there. We have to look for and search for those reasons by which the Vedas are removed, then the Aveda Drushti is developed. Then their expression will not be of Pruthakvadatva. How can any be different? Like, when a big calamity happens, तो all other people religious और इधर कास्ट लोग अब ईच एक दूसरे को हम बचाने को आग लग गए मानो सबके घर में तो एक दूसरे को हेल्प करेंगे वहाँ ये सब काम नहीं करते बिकॉज कॉमनली सफरिंग बाय दैट कैलामिटी to help each other. Sometimes the calamities, these terrorist attacks, these bhukampas are very good. Then all spiritual talks because they unite the people. They come together to come out of it. The problem, when everything is okay, then they create the differences. I am this religion, this caste, this nationality, this richness, this poorness. अरे ये सब उपाधियों में भाई Upadesh difference should add to the joy of it, not cover in the basic joy itself. These are all high level of deep level of ignorances, which we are entertaining and we have become comfortable in that. Like in the house nowadays, everybody started becoming comfortable in the fact कि दूसरे का कुछ भी हो जाए मैं क्यों देखूं let me see my own self. People are finding comfort in that selfishness. That's the animalistic tendency. How can you be comfortable when your guru or somebody is not happy or not safe or your own people at home? कितना उतावला होना चाहिए? That love, that's the expression of love. I am to see that all my family members are safe and secured. That was the expansion of ego from one to the entire family. That's oneness. That's Aveda Drushti. But that's gone nowadays. Mera chala thik. Isn't everybody paroso their thing? Take that bowl or plate and go and sit in front of TV or computer. Then in TV, seeing that they eat the food. As you're not concerned about a brother or father or daughter or sister, what a murkha selfish house life we are living. In the same way, it's become habit to us to see from the Veda Drushti. That's what he means, Veda Nimna. And all in all, every reason of ours where the Veda is removed should take us to the final Bhedarahita sthiti of Ekavayadvayam Brahma. Because any other Abheda sthiti, intermediate, if it is not towards that, geared up toward that, it won't last for a long time. And it won't fetch you the ultimate. Because Bheda is not a compulsion, Abhedata is not a compulsion. It cannot be thirst upon. It cannot be forced. How much of it thirst or forced? At one or the other place, it gets burst. Now, the only option left out is to discover the already existing Abheda. And what is the only already existing Abheda? The common substrata behind everything and being. That's called Shuddha Sadgana Sidgana Anandagana Parabrahma Swarupa. उस दृष्टि से ही अल्टीमेट अभेदता लागू है. लेकिन to reach to that, the ability and quality comes when in our vyavahara and mind we avoid the bheda which otherwise is creating the disturbances because of which we are not able to see the self. So here ashuddhi again means the papa. The one who does papa will go to naraka or dukkha only. And what is that which is making me do the papa of ashuddhi? Bheda. Vede vicharatam. That means what? The thought of differentiation itself is sin, which is giving its result of naraka, of dukkha. At any moment in your own house, with your own wife or husband, so much love you have because of which there is an abheda sthiti, you will enjoy that person's talk presence. For any reason, little the Veda is created, immediately the sin of anger, sin of frustration, sin of distaste comes. Who suffers? I only suffer. एक ही क्षण में आता है हो, लेकिन अपने असर दिखा देता है. अब उसको लगातार करते जाओ. You know, with husband wife लेन देन होता है, देखो दे कॉम्प्रोमाइज एटलीस्ट. बट विद मदर इन लॉ कुछ लेन है ही नहीं है, देनी पड़ता है. देखो दे मेंटेन द डिफरेंस सो लॉन्ग दैट उनका साथ में रहना ही जरूरत ही नहीं है करके हम चलो अलग घर बना लेते. If that is not done in that house throughout the day, she is thinking mother-in-law, she is thinking mother-in-law's bheda, and toward that mother-in-law always there is a krodha, and she only jalti रहते पेट में भी दिमाग में भी. Even if mother-in-law dies, if still maintaining the bheda drishti, 20 साल के बाद भी she will remember all those experiences and say, I had such a mother-in-law like Lalita Pawar. It's all in your own mind. You understand? Bheda. And each one is suffering commonly with Veda Drushti create Ashuddhi, but towards what it is different. I have Veda with servants, you have Veda with your some other friends, you have Veda with your own family members, somebody is Veda in the office, somebody is Veda with the neighbors. So develop that Shuddha Buddhi by developing Abheda Drushti. And final Abheda is Atma Drushti. And other Veda, Abhedata is what? The acceptance of the fact that we are mutually here to help each other. Therefore, you are equally important to me as I am important to myself. Like for a driver and car owner. Now, yeah, driver is dependent on him because he is giving salary. But he is also dependent on driver because he is driving, no? Without that, you won't reach to so many destinations. Therefore, that way, where is Veda? There is no Veda. We need each other. We help each other. We are complementary to each other. We are puraka. We are not, what do you say, the contradictory नहीं है हमको, हम एक दूसरे को. Like we and me. If I, the speaker, is not there, what will you listen? If you, the audience, are not there, whom will I speak to? So we that way are abheda. Create it. And I thank you and you thank me. Is it not? Like all devatas came in the form of vanaras, helped Rama in killing Ravana. Therefore, Rama is thankful to them. And they also come and thank because you killed Ravana and helped us to be free from his tyranny. Thank you mutually. Yesterday we saw in Uttarakandam. It's a Rishi Muni's kripa that Sri Rama killed Ravana. Is it not? Then the Rishis and came. Agastya said, Dishtya, Dishtya, Dishtya. It is thank God you killed Ravana and Ravani and all. That now we are free to do all our upasanas dharma. See, right? By that thought and words, which is genuine. It's not manipulation. That I depend on you is not a manipulation. It's a genuine thing. It is true. I should discover this truth from within that without you as audience, I can't speak. इसमें झूठ किधर है? इसको सिर्फ recognize करना है. ये तो हमेशा है सत्य. Whenever any speaker is there, any performer is there, is fulfilled only in where is an audience. It's an eternal oneness. So to an audience or listener is fulfilled only in the presence of a speaker or performer. So this relation is eternal, which can bring oneness. So to the wife and husband. How can there be husband without wife? How can there be wife without husband? Therefore, this relation is eternal. So that should bring the Abheda. In that Abheda Drushti, all shortcomings, whatever are there, they should be neutralized, nullified. It's all in the mind. If you value it, it becomes important. Like you are serious, sincere, want to come to class. I must only hold on to that point. For many other reasons, you can't come. Now, that may be fact, but not useful thing to me. If I think about it, I am suffering. And I'm worried, why didn't these fellows come yesterday? Why didn't they inform me? Hey, samsar ho gaya na. You didn't want to inform, that's it. It's a fact. You don't like me, that's a fact. Accept karo. You don't feel the responsibility of informing. You don't have that maturity of, taking somebody who is teaching us into confidence and inform about whereabouts and all. And it's a training teaching to me in other way. Ki why should you worry when they are not worried? These are the teachings to me actually. I'm learning. But in general Vyavahar, that's not the topic. Topic is this. Any reason when you bring Bheda, you suffer. Wherever there is suffering, there is Bheda Drushti. The only way to remove the suffering is Abheda. The two types of Abheda are what? Include that person in yourself. Totally. Other option is totally reject that person as non-existing. Total, then also there is no thing. Otherwise, है साथ में लेकिन पटता नहीं है तो कभी शांत नहीं होती. In that south, in the mind, with some people, when you give up, you are peaceful. शादी तलाक जब तक नहीं होते डेली लड़ रहे हैं. One day the court declared, then they are happy at themselves. जाओ जाओ, that freedom तो हो गया. Just an example. With any friend, ये नहीं पढ़ रहा है कोई पार्टनर से, अब छोड़ दिया तो टेंशन खत्म. Because there is no chance for Veda, because no relation with that person. You don't have Veda with everybody in the bus or train when you travel. Because there is no relation. There is no contact. But whereas the contact is there, if it is not on the ways of Aveda, you suffer. Therefore, either reject the entire world as absolutely non-existent, which is a theme of Mandukya, or accept the entire world as my own self. Entire. Entire means not even anything is spared. Not even you can say the entire world is me except it's one person. That is enough for you to become more miserable than the joy of being one with world. And if you remember, all that in your mind, only one thing or person towards whom when we don't have devotion, love, with that person only we suffer. बाकी सब ठीक होता है, वहीं दुखी हो और वो छोड़ता नहीं दिमाग में, चौबीसों घंटे रहता. See that power of Veda Drishti followed by Ashuddhi of Dvesha. That in spite of all other people are good, you don't enjoy that, but you suffer this one person's frustration. You understand? Like in a house, you have hatred toward your Bahu. Your father-in-law is good, mother-in-law good, your all the chacha chachi, tata tati, nana nani, papa papi, pupa pupi, kaka kaki, tuta tuti, all are good. Your driver is good, your subordinates are good, your servants are good, your children are good, your man, सब ठीक है, but you don't enjoy that because you don't like that some person. See that power of that Veda Drishti? उसमें फिर बहुत सारे रहस्य है. I will not talk all that. It becomes a lengthy subject. The main point is the jiva doesn't want to be miserable even for one reason. But what is not recognizing is the misery is coming because of seeing differentiation. The difference is seen because of some expectation in you. Therefore, you rectify yourselves. When you rectify, then the difference gone, then the ashuddhi gone, then you are happy. And what is that rectification of all mistakes? Hindi Gana. So miserable Gana, but that is the highest of Vedanta. यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट्स गाना याद आ गया मैं क्या कोट कर रहा हूँ? सिर्फ इतना ही, मुझे तुमसे कुछ भी न चाहिए। दिस इज 50%। सेकंड 50 इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट। मुझे मेरे हाल पे छोड़ दो। दो ही sang it frustratedly, but it is the ultimate truth. When you don't discover your own अंदर का खुशहाल, then you are behal. And when you are adding to it the chahat towards the outer person, you have become more frustrated. Is it not? Accept people as they are. Allow them to have all the freedom. Not even one thought of anything from them. You are freed from outer Ashuddhi. Then discover your own inner self. You are freed from the inner Ashuddhi of I am Jiva, I am Deha, I am Indriya. ये तो इंटररिलेटेड है. व्हेन आई थिंक आई एम जीवा देहा इत्यादि, उनको खुराक ही आउटर जगत है. एंड दैट आल्सो द डिफरेंशिएशन. ये सब इंटरकनेक्टेड होता है. So outside, when I don't expect, then mana indi buddhiya shant hote hain. Then when you cross them, because it is shanta, you are one with the self. Or when you seek only the truth, it being beyond the upadhis, you are necessarily supposed to go beyond upadhi. And upadhis are strong because they are related in the world. You have to transcend upadhi, therefore necessarily you have to withdraw from the world. Withdrawal from the world comes only when we stop expecting from the world. It all is interconnected. एक दूसरे को लीड करता है. Then how do you stop expecting from the world? Only when you know we came here to give to the world, not to take. Is it not? That's the basic thing. That's like give, give, give. सब देते जाना. The heart should be so much filled, the life should be so much filled in giving that there should be not even a chance to wait to expect something from others. You understand? देते जाओ देते जाओ, कुछ मांगना नहीं. देते हैं तभी नहीं लेना. That state of mind is called as desirelessness, where I have nothing to take from you. Anything, gross or like Gurudev, went on giving, giving, giving knowledge, giving wisdom, giving guidance, giving inspiration, giving love. He never expected. If he had expected, he would have been so frustrated. You can't see his smiling face. देते गए कि उनको मांगने का, लेने का एक थॉट के लिए मौका भी नहीं दिया उन्होंने. That's what conquering the mind. Therefore, there was no bheda with the world for him. That's how his own upadhis were not liability. Anytime he could keep the upadhi there and be one with the self. Now you understand in these mantras how much of the information, the knowledge or practicality is hidden. Bhedanimnaha, then Prithakvadaha, then Avaisharatyam, then Krupana. Okay, 4 words. Bhedanimnaha, submerged in the lifestyle of Bheda, submerged in the inner thinking only of the Bheda. Prathakvadaha, therefore their speaking and actions are based on differences and only to substantiate differences, leading to all the Ashuddhi, Avaisharadyam of Kama, Krodha, Raga, Dveshadi. Then always in the state of depression or frustration or misery called a Krupanata. The Krupana is self-pity. People don't help me, people don't love me, people don't take care of me, or I don't have this thing, I don't have that thing, or that thing I'm not able to enjoy. These are all Krupanata. In every of these Krupana Bhava, you always can see the Dushti is outside. Outside includes your own Manabuddhi. Just withdraw from them and focus on the self, which is so infinite, brimful. You are happy. There is no Krupanata. That's why one of the biggest sadhana is I am complete blissful inside myself. I don't need anything from anybody. इसको ना इतना एंटरटेन करो कि अंदर का सारा खचरा जो है of expectation leading to bheda or bheda leading to expectation, that avaisaradyam or ashuddhi should go away. Like I am here, I am having my classes, enjoying my own life. Why should I expect anything from you who are such a thousands of kilometers distance? And how can you do also any help to me? You are busy actually in your own world. You only need help. See, इस तरह से ना लोगों को जब आप लूज छोड़ते हो, उनको उनके तरफ से समझते हो, पहली बात क्या होती है कि यू स्टॉप एक्सपेक्टिंग. That is a freedom for your own misery, inner misery. Then you start helping them. Then their ananda, then that ananda, when you discover ananda inner, then you'll be double happy. I'm happy because I'm helping you, and I'm happy in your help, your happiness. Therefore, double ananda. The other thing, when I expect from you, inside I'm frustrated because I'm expecting from you, and you never fulfill it. Therefore, double हो गया वो. इसलिए खुशियां देने से डबल होते हैं, दुख बांटने से घटकर आधा होता है. अपना खुशी दूसरों को दो, डबल होता है. दूसरों का दुःख ले लो. इसलिए लोग आज के कुछ चाहते नहीं, बस उनका अपना दुःख सुनो बस खत्म. First of all, and I discovered in my life in some cases, people only seek sympathy. That's for that they tell their problem. And if you try to solve them, they run away because there's no support for them to live in life other than those problems. आई फेल्ड सो जो पहले पहले करते थे अब पूरा बंद कर दिया हमने. लोग अपने समस्या प्रॉब्लम इन अदर वर्ड मूर्खता बेवकूफ़ी so much they are in love with that they don't want to part with it. Like I tell you, भैया that person in your family wants freedom, leave that freedom, no. When I give such an advice, do you think they'll take it? No, 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 no. Because that attachment expectancy is the only thing with which they are alive. Therefore, they don't leave it. They leave Swami, but not that. People love their problem, their frustration actually. That they're different type of intoxication. That's why pure guru he gives knowledge and leaves. Pakdo ya na pakdo, practice karo ya na karo, get lost, that's it. It's your life. Like Gurudev, he gave a knowledge. He said, karna hai, kar, nahi to mar. What? Krishna also, Yateshe Thakuru means what? Ab mar, tu kya karega, kar. मेरे को जो बोलना था बोल दिया. That also you asked. नहीं पूछता वो भी नहीं बोलता मैं. How important, see, Vaisharadyantu Vainasti. And then Visharadata actually, the real meaning, though it is said as Vishuddhi here, by Bhashya mein, Vaisharadam like Hindi Visharad. I can Sanskrit Visharad. The students in the study, they are given the certificate. Visharada means expertise. And expertise in the wisdom. ये गाने में विशारद है. He has reached the heights of the singing. ये नाट्य में विशारद है. नाट्य विशारद, गान विशारद, कवित्व विशारद, है ना, टेक्नोलॉजिकल विशारद, इंजीनियरिंग, पॉलिटिकल विशारद. There are some giants in politics. You can't reach to their level of managing opposition, managing in so party, managing the whole nation, its affairs, international. It needs a huge Vaisharadhya. Not an ordinary thing. There's some people, big. How many lives they must have studied all the Shastras with single pointedness and memory power, that all of that is there in the Vaisharad. Is it not? In spirituality, the meaning of Vaisharada is to be able to experience that ultimate truth. And that experience of ultimate truth, called as self, which gives liberation, will never be there to such people. That is the meaning of Vaisharadhyam to Nasti. To whom? Vede Vicharata. Who are in the Veda Vichara, Veda Vivahara. And Veda Vimnaga Pratagvadaha. It has become a habit for them to start the day with the Veda and express that Veda of inside through the actions and words. Be careful about it. The moment we get up with not the love for the people whom we love, but with the hatred or anger with those whom we have hatred with. Because with that thought only we slept yesterday night. How do you prove, Swamiji? How many of us early morning remembered our gurus and gods who are continuously blessing us? You don't remember them. They don't give what we need or what we want, but they give what we need. That is their kindness. Lord not giving what we want is His kindness. Because He doesn't want to fulfill our wants, so that you're always wanted fellow, most wanted. दैट इज देयर वे ऑफ टीचिंग। एक दिन ये जानते हैं ये इतना फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाएगा कि फिर मेरे तरफ आएगा, ठीक है जो मैं चाहता हूँ नहीं दे रहा है तो जो देगा दे दे, मैं ले लेता हूँ। भगवान दे विजडम, ले ले। ही इज सो हैप्पी आफ्टर द, अरे ये क्यों नहीं दिया पहले, तूने मांगा ही नहीं, मैं दे भी रहा था तुम ले ही नहीं रहे थे। That's what happened. That's another subject. Some other day when that topic comes, we discuss. But when you get up in the morning, immediately you remember wife. Not that you adore her like she's Durga Lakshmi, but she'll be give her a bed tea, bed coffee. You have not remembered her to love her, but for the coffee or tea. So she's who? Not a person whom you make a coffee and give her, but she's a person who should fulfill your desire of coffee. That's a Bheda Drishti. In Abheda, you become giver, remember. Wherever you are receiver, you are only Bheda. Moment you get up, let me serve the world, let me serve the Lord, let me do my upasana, let me thank my rishis, munis. You are in Abheda Drishti, then you will never have Ashuddhi, then you will never have frustration. And that frustration, the dukkha, the feeling of guilt, always begging from the world, yedo vodo, when they don't give, then putting a frowning face of misery, that all is called Krupanata. That is the last line of this shloka. Vedanimnaha pratakvadaha tasmat te krupanaha smrutaha. Their entire life, starting from the birth till the death, they are krupana, 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 krupana. मर के टाइम भी कृपण है. The one kripanata of non-fulfillment of desires is there. That is for any ordinary stuff, useless samsari. That will anyway there because you can't fulfill all desires in one lifetime. हज़ारों ऐसे रह जाते हैं। अब उसको लेकर मरते हैं, then he'll take another birth like a buffalo or anything, where some of the desires are fulfilled. This is about Ajnani. We are not talking about them. We are talking about the so-called spiritual people also will continue to be in Kripanataha if they maintain Veda from any standpoint. And every standpoint will have the Veda Drushti except Ekameva Dvayam Brahma Drushti. Therefore, only the Ekameva Dvayam Brahma Drushti is a Drushti in where there is no Ashuddhi, then only he will no more be Krupana, a beggar, a slave, a Dina Vyakti. See that people on the traffic lights or in the temples, जो भी आ रहा है उससे एक रुपए दो, 10 रुपए दो. If we see that, that's what we are also. Equally beggar we are with the objects, with the people, with our projects, with from the world itself. भीख मांग रहे हैं अपन, कृपणा. So there the Bheda there them is, he is the giver of money, I am not having it, therefore Kripanata. In us, I am miserable with myself, I need happiness, the wife or husband or children or friends or devotees or disabled, they give. You are already beggar. Another way of saying. Here the Bheda Drushti is with what? So far we discussed about the world. Now almost same thing but little higher way. Here the Abheda Drushti is with the self. New discussion we are doing now. New way of seeing the same point. Those who have Veda Drushti, they are Kripana. Those who are Aveda Drushti, they are happy, Visharada. Isn't it? Aveda and Veda with what? Aveda with your own self. Yeah? You are the self inside. उसके साथ तुम भेद रखोगे, you are a Kripana. Then Aveda with the self. I am Jiva only for Vyavahara. In my essential self, I am that. Like Hanumanji. You know, he has in Vyavahara so much of Veda that I am Dasa, Rama Dasa, etc. etc. But inside, there is no Hanumanji other than Rama in him. He knows it. Rama knows, Hanumanji knows. There is no Veda. In how many class texts we have seen, you and me are not separate. Jnani to Atma evitime matam, Bhagavan says. That is not Bhagavan's words. Bhagavan always knows every world is me. But Jnani knows that I and him are not different. Such person more loved by me because he is established in the wisdom. So if you keep your distance from the Shuddha Brahma Tattva, Atma Tattva, then you're already Kripana as a Jiva. Then you will enter only Avisharada, entertain always the Avishuddhi, the mind of desires, etc. Then where there be Shanti now? Kripanata hoga hi nahi tumko, hoga hi tumko. So in this way, we have to look from this loka from all angles. Abheda from Parabrahma by discovering oneness. Abheda with your own Ishtadeva Ishvara by surrendering totally and knowing that He is taking care of me every moment. Abheda with the world, saying that I am in the world to serve the world, but not to expect. Allowing that whatever in the world is happening, it is done by the Lord only in my interest. Therefore, everything is accepted. Anything coming from the world is accepted. Everything which we can do for the world can be done. There, if it is done, there is no bheda for us with the world. That's what the world expects. What your wife expects. No, whatever she wants, you should give, and whatever her stupidity, you should tolerate. That's what she says. Ab karo, okay? You do it inside and outside. What is dharma, dharma, chakshana is there? That you have to be careful. याद रखना. When आत्मिक सत्य आध्यात्मिक वाला कहते हैं, याद रखो ये बात कोई नहीं बोलेंगे आपको. The spiritual truths and practices are different from the laukika dharmas. Okay? The in spiritual laws and truths you apply inside. What is the meaning? Inside you feel ki whatever she needs, I must give her. Whatever she is there, let me tolerate. Inside. Then you be free. That's Abheda created inside. But outside, what the Laukika Dharma, that only you have to do. Not what is Vyavaharika Dharma, that only you have to do. But do it in beautiful, decent manner. Some example, she is asking for something which is beyond your budget. Is it not? So feel inside that she asked something, I must give. But the asking is something about which is beyond budget, then you have to find the ways and means to tell her, इस साल नहीं हो सकता, पैसे कम है, अब इससे आप खुश हो जाओ, अगले साल हम आपको better वाला दे देंगे. And if she's wise like you, oh, thank you, this much you have given, let us see next. If otherwise, then at least you don't suffer, allow her to suffer, because you can't remove anybody's suffering. Can I remove your suffering? No, because you love it. Can you remove my suffering? No, because I don't want. You understand? The लौकिक में जो होता है लौकिक धर्म ही काम करता है. You know, in the management of the outer rules work. In the spirituality, inner. Don't mix them up. There is a very subtle demarcation. That's why those who don't know that, they spoil both the things. A judge will forgive the person from within for the person's crime. But outside, according to the law book, you'll have to give the punishment. That is the Laukika Dharma. Inside, you are a spiritual person who is supposed to forgive, like the Lord forgives everyone. See, the Lord, did he forgive Ravana and all or not? He forgave from inside, but outside he taught the lesson also. That's why he said to Vibhishana, when he said, I will not do Dana Samskara, Marananta hi Satrubhavaha. After that, forgive. Inside also. See, remember, forgive the person, not the crime. Because if you forgive the crime, he will repeat it. You should teach him lesson. Is it not? They are very subtle demarcations. I will not go into those details. But is this sloka digested? Such an important one, both for our outer happiness, the inner happiness, the spiritual unfoldment. Vaisharadyantu vai nasti bhede vicharatam sada bheda nimnaha vrtagvadaha tasmat te kurbanaha smrtaha. Therefore, they experience Kripanada and the Shastra declares them to be Kripana. That's why the quotation of the Gargi Maitreya in the Maitreyi Brahmanam, that Yovai Gargi Atmanam Ajnatva Shariran Tejati Savai Kripanaha. Like that, there is a mantra in that Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Whoever not knowing the self, they just leave the body, they are the Kripana. While living also, live as a self, else you are Kripana. Then toward the end, you are dying only without. Why? At the time of death also, is Kripana is Ajnani. Because definitely is going to be born in another yoni to suffer all the kurpanatas or the limitations. जो तत्व को जान लिया is no more kurpana while living. When his body is left, at that time also, because already gained it, is no more kurpana. Veda nimnaha, if you are submerged in Veda, pratakvadaha, uh, uncontrollably your words and talking and actions would be based only on the Veda. Either you follow the Veda or you create the Veda. Such one kurpanaha. See the politicians and all. They can sustain only when the Veda is created. They sustain, but the peace, prosperity of the country is destroyed. We are all one Akhanda Bharat, one Sanatana Dharmi, one human being, one children of God. You know what is one solution for the entire universal problem? Everybody is individual and total problem. Only one solution. Only one. There's no two. No need of two. Just look at the entire world, how the Lord looks at. If he can develop that vision, all problems are solved. He looks at the world as his own. Is it not? He never differentiates the world from himself as something other than him. He never had the bias, inner created biasness towards anything else. Same time, to run the show of the world, the rules, regulations, whatever he made, who follow them, he rewards them. Who doesn't, then he punishes. Without himself getting disturbed. Only that one vision, not even the parents. How the parents look at the children, they look at only their children, not other. Therefore, that example doesn't suit. How the Lord is looking at the world. If you can think about it, ponder about it, understand the essences in that, and live accordingly, then there's no Veda Drushti, there's no samsara. Sab khatam ho jata. He looks at the inanimate rivers, oceans, all of them in his own form. The animate may, not only human, even the lower yonis of पशु पक्षी वनस्पति सब मेरे ही हैं, सब मैं ही हूँ, सब मेरे ही संतति. Is it not? He is equally pitiable to a human being hungry like that of any goat or a sheep or even an ant. That's what Bhagavan's drushti. And in his vision, as much he wants the human to evolve to his own self-consciousness, he wants the ant also. And whatever ant requires at that time for his evolution, that he gives to ant. What the man requires for his evolution, God gives that. In fact, for every human being, Lord has only one goal, that they all should reach me. And for that, what is required for each one, that alone he gives. Alas, we have to recognize it. That clicks to us when we are truly devotee of the Lord. You know, a true devotee who never expects from the Lord except what he gives the best, he will only visualize these subtle truths. सबको दिमाग में ये नहीं आते. Anyway, this being such an important श्लोक, I thought if at all anything missed, we should not regret later on. इसलिए पूरा अभी हम थोड़ा एक बार और जांच करते हैं. Today we have not seen even bhashya, but from the mantra only, how Bhagavan is telling Karika Kara, you if you are Bhedanimna and Prutakvada, so much of Avaisharadhyam or Ashuddhi in you that you are Kripana for yourself. And everybody also looks at you as Kripana. Is it not? Therefore, slowly come to the Abheda from Veda. And any account of Abheda is correct, but not complete or ultimate. The only correct, complete Abheda Drushti is that of the self, which is all pervading. So, give importance to that more and more. Try to visualize that only. Try to assess everything from that standpoint. All else give less value. I see something in world now. Whether you value it or not, or devalue it, whether you devalue it or not, after some time it already gets devalued. To prove that it has never value. Is it not? But when you value, it creates a differentiation, then you suffer that. इसलिए कोई भी द्वंद्व को वैल्यू मत करो. लाइक सुख को तुमने वैल्यू किया एंड यू जंप्ड, बट आफ्टर an hour 2 hours that is gone. Anyway, it has to go. But at the time of sukha, when you have jumped, then you expect more about it, or you become arrogant about it, look down upon others, or seeing your gestures, you are instigating in others the feeling of jealousy or guilt. In a cricket match, when the winning team jumps with so much joy, and it adds to the misery of the losers. They doesn't know, but it has its effect. But if he says, "ठीक है, today we played well, therefore we won, tomorrow it's your day," then it won't make the losing team that much miserable. That's the maturity. Is it not? One of the reasons for which we should not jump out of joy when we are too successful. And tomorrow it is other success. If you are elated today in your success, tomorrow you'll have to fall when you fail. Because failing is inevitable, you suffer more. If you have withstood to my own success today, tomorrow when I fail, that time I can withstand. देखो समता का मजा कैसा है, अभेद दृष्टि का. Whatever I am doing presently is going to decide how I behave in the future. The careful being careful in the present is always good, and every future comes in the present only. So keep being careful in maintaining the Aveda Drishti. Okay, that's a great commentator say the game has won. Neither the winners have won nor the losers have lost. The game has won. That's a beautiful thing. एक बार सोचो, जैसे अभी बता रहा था मैं, कोई जीते कोई हारे, भगवान की क्या दृष्टि है? याद हो, भगवान को दोनों अपने हैं. पर हारने वालों का दुख भी अपना दुख है, जीतने वाले का सुख भी अपना. अब एक ही बंदे में दोनों कैसे हो सकते हैं? Only when he maintains balance in both of them. And how do you do that? Because when he knows it's only a sport in which sometimes somebody will win, sometimes somebody will lose. So winning and losing is not important. Playing is important. Play the game of life. That's it. There's nothing to lose or win. There's no loser, there's a winner. You love, you do your best. There's nothing to gain or lose. So these are all high philosophies which don't click to we who are cocooned in our own physical problem, in our own financial frustration, in our own जो चार पांच लोग चौरा चार भाई उनको भी हम मेंटेन नहीं कर पाते. Caught up in those things. Is it not? A parrot or a dog or a cat throughout the day running for its own food. Is it available for any wisdom? We are no way better than them. Those are seeking small little things of the world, they'll never be available for the higher wisdoms. ठीक है, अब इतना काफी है. ओम अजय साम्ये तो ये केचिद् भविष्यन्ति सुनिश्चिताः ते हि लोके महाज्ञानाः तच्च लोको न गाहते. These are all very powerful shlokas. I can finish all of them by telling literal meaning in one day. But मुझे इसको अच्छा पढ़ना है. And you are a mirrors to me. In front of you, I can do my personal study very nicely. If it helps you also, you can use it. अजय साम्ये तो एकेचित् भविष्यन्ति सुनिश्चिताः ते हि लोके महाज्ञानाः तच्च लोको न गाहते. अजेष्वजम् असङ्क्रान्तं धर्मेषु ज्ञानमिश्यते यतो न क्रमते ज्ञानम् असङ्गं तेन कीर्तितम्. अणुमात्रेऽपि वैधर्म्ये जायमाने विपश्चितः असङ्गता सदा नास्ति किमुतावरणच्युतिः. अलब्धावरणाः सर्वे धर्मा प्रकृतिनिर्मलाः आदौ बुद्धास्तथा मुक्ताः बुध्यन्ते इति नायकाः. क्रमतेन हि बुद्धस्य ज्ञानं धर्मेषु तापिनः सर्वे धर्माः सदा ज्ञानं नैतद्बुद्धेन भाषितं. दुर्धर्षमद्गम्भीरमजं साम्यं विशारदं बुद्ध्वा पदम् अनानात्वं नमस्कुर्मो यथा बलम्. ओम अजमपि जनियोगं प्रापदैश्वर्ययोगात् अगति च गतिमत्तां प्रापदेकं ह्यनेकं. विविधविषयधर्मग्राहि क्षणानां प्रणतभयविहन्तृब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि. प्रज्ञावैशाखवेदक्षुभितजलनिधेर्वेदनाम्नोऽन्तरस्थं भूतान्यालोक्यमज्ञानि अविरतजननग्राहघोरे समुद्रे कारुण्यादुद्धधारामृतमिदम् अमरैर्दुर्लभं भूतहेतोः. यस्तं पूज्यापि पूज्यं परमगुरुममुं पादपातैर्नतोऽस्मि यत्प्रज्ञालोकभासा प्रत्यति मगमत् स्वान्तमोहान्धकारः मज्जोन्मज्जच्च घोरैः असकृत् उपजनः उपजनोदन्वतित्रासने मे यत्पादावाश्रितानां श्रुतिसमविनय प्राप्तिरग्राह्यमोघा तत्पादौ पावनीयौ भवभयविनिधौ सर्वभावैर्नमस्ये। ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ Now you know the meaning why in all Shastras it is told to maintain this samatha. Dukkeshu, sukheshu, lavanashteshu, samasama. So toward the mitra and shatru, samatha. Because in Vishwanapada there is ashuddhi leading to the kripanata. In the samatha there is vishuddhi, there is no kripanata. ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः परमऋषिभ्यो नमः परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रुतिमात्रे नमः मंडूकमहर्षे गौडपादाचार्यवर्याय आद्य शंकरद्गुरवे नमः अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः ओम तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Thank you friends. See you in our next class in a moment's time.